I was talking to my daughter today, and I used the term, and I do it often, the 50-50 in life. Our vessel is touching two banks of the river at all times. The things we tend to focus on, the good stuff, but we are also touching the other side also, and there are things that we don't pay much attention to, but are not good. And so to expect in life to have an imbalance of so much of one and not the other is probably unrealistic. We have part of life is that other bank that we don't pay attention to, and it's overgrown sometimes with tragedy and things we don't want to pay attention to. And I went to my phone after the news, and I had the last text I had from him, and I don't know if I can get it on the camera there. And it was "Love you, man," and it fucking that knocked me down for a little while too. He was just a gentle and really emotionally mature soul. I wasn't at 26. I wasn't as emotionally mature as Tristen was.
I wasn't. I'm not at 63, so
yeah,
I mean,
it's true. You're way fucking behind.
fuck.
But so I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk to parents that may see alcohol, the frequency of. I don't know as a parent, Kevin, honestly, if my daughter came home from a party in high school or college when she goes next year, and I know she got a little loaded, like, what would the line for me be? Where do I become concerned? How does one know what's a problem and what is, let's face it, the normal trajectory of growing up as a young man or woman?
Okay, so to add, I've been sitting here talking about my son, but now I need to add this because this is something that people that have met him and spent time with him, and then you tell them this, and they're like, "What?" My son was autistic. My son was Asperger's. My son was very, very high educated, very, very high IQ, but my son was autistic on top of all those things. So, like, he got was like we say, he was nervous or he was this. No. He sat me down one time at a diner, and we're sitting there and we're waiting on our food. He looked at me, he goes, "Dad," he goes, I gotta bail. I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, I can't take it. And I said, "What?" And there was these two older, maybe 65-year-old women. They were cackling, like two booths down, I said, "That?" He goes, that, and he pointed. There was a guy with the mop gimmick. The mop where you squeeze it and it's plastic, and and he's banging that around. And then above us is a ceiling fan going shak 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 shak. I don't. Now that he's pointed them out, I absorb it, and I'm like, okay. It's for him. It's been for 7 minutes. Like, it's time for him to bail. He's got to go. And once he pointed that out to me, anytime, I always tried to read his eyes. Anytime it was like, I'd be like, because like people that were aggressive, like he was always like, "Whoa, what are you like? What are you so like he used to get so pissed at me. I'd be screaming at somebody on the phone. I'd get done, and he would just look at me and shake his head. He does it get done faster if you scream? I'd be like, I don't know. I've never not screamed. I don't know. I try not to scream. It's just like my F-bombs. I try. I mean, maybe I should try harder, but I don't know. But it's just I like my wife and I learned so much from him. Because he was always exploring and investigating, and when people would say something, I'd hear somebody say, well, Colorado River is going to. He'd be like, my son told me that 8 years ago. All the water problems that are happening right now. My son pointed that out, in vivid detail 8 years ago. So just like, that's another thing, man. Like, imagine when there's no water to drink. You want to be on this. You want to be on this. You want to be on this ball of dirt. Obviously, he didn't.